Okay, so I'm going to London in 2 days' time for the Galaxy Unpacked event. I'm excited because it's my first time of going to London and it's my first time of being in the Samsung event. So yeah, we're making progress. Thanks to God. Now, as I'm packing up for the event, you know, my cameras, my microphones, tripods, and everything else that I'm going to need, I just discovered that I have a problem I never really knew I had before. And that is the fact that I don't have a laptop I use to edit videos outside of the studio. However, the only or the closest laptop I have that can be able to do a bit of creative works in terms of what I do, that is video editing, is this laptop. So I just thought, wouldn't it be a good time to actually see what it's like to use a 2020, 6 years ago MacBook Air for video editing and creative stuff in 2026. I woke up this morning and one of the first things I did was to try and see if I can install my Adobe Creative Suite on this MacBook. That is basically Premiere Pro and Adobe Audition, because those are the two software I use when it comes to my video editing. Now, what I observed when I was installing them is that the fans came up, like they were blasting at high frequency. The noise was really, really high, which means that the laptop for the first time is actually working over time than what it's normally used to. Like I told you guys, I've been using it for a lot of admin work for the channel and school work when it comes to my research. I've never heard the fan come up until now. Now for context, this is not the version with the M1 chip on it. This is the version with the Core i3 Intel chip on it. It has 16 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of internal storage. I know you're wondering who still uses the Intel version of the MacBook Air in 2026. The truth is that people still do. On Amazon, it costs about $400 to get one, and there are still so many sales per month from what I'm seeing online. So people actually still buy it. But then, here are some really great things about this MacBook. Even though it's 6 years old, it's not the M1 chip. The fact that it's a MacBook alone is Apple designed. There are lots of good things going for it. For example, the keyboard, it has backlight. It is super tactile when I'm typing. You get that Mac experience from it. You just love it. The speakers are very great when it comes to listening to content, when I'm watching YouTube videos, when I'm trying to script and I'm getting some information. The speakers are really great. The display is super nice outdoors. The colors are very rich and the display brightness also makes it really suitable for me sometimes when I just want to go out to a park and walk. Then also, it comes with two USB-C ports on the left side. I don't know if they are Thunderbolts, but they're super fast enough for me. And then it still has the age-old 3.5mm headphone jack if you're still into all of that. The trackpad still feels really, really responsive when I'm using it, even though most times I have a mouse, I just connect with it to use outdoors. So there are a lot of things that is still great with this MacBook even right now. So actually now I just changed train at Crew. And this is obviously bound for London. You still, I just had like the worst care. Like for a moment I lost this bag. Like, man, my heart went off because it had everything. This with my pocketry, my phones, everything. But thankfully I dropped it in the coach before this one, where I wanted to sit before, but changed my mind because I was looking for a seat like this that have a table I could. But it's okay. I'm still on time. 8:60, should be in London by 10. I'll see how the day goes. I'm finally back to Manchester. In fact, I just got off the train from London Euston, and I had to get somewhere to sit down to quickly complete the video I started before I traveled. And that is where I said I want to know what it's like using this 6 years old MacBook Air, what it's like using it to actually edit videos in 2026. And I would say, yes, I did use it to edit 4 short videos and 1 long form videos. They're already on the channel. I posted them 2 o'clock yesterday, immediately the event started. Now, if I have to describe my experience using this MacBook Air to edit those videos, 1 word: frustrating. Yeah, not for the short form videos. I think I did about 4 short form videos, and they were buttering smooth in the sense that I didn't have any playback or lag issues. I didn't even have to reduce the quality of my playback monitor on Premiere Pro to use it. It was just smooth. And I think it's all down to the fact that I shot at 3K quality with the DJI Pocket 3, Osmo Pocket 3 that I'm using to record this video now. So the quality wasn't up to 4K. And then some of the other B-rolls I used were shot with my iPhone at 1080p because they are all short form videos. But once I got into editing the long form videos, that is where I actually felt this laptop was basically screaming. The fans were coming on and blasting. The whole system was choppy, timeline was lagging seriously, playback was not smooth at all. Also, I had to render some of my videos constantly. In fact, there was a point where I basically just shut down the laptop to just allow it to rest and then restarted all over again. And because I had no choice, that video has to come up yesterday by 2 o'clock. I just had to keep going back to using it, and yeah, it was really, really frustrating. So at the end, the video that would normally take me, say, 5 or 6 hours at most to edit ended up taking me almost 9 to 10 hours. And it wasn't funny 9 to 10 hours at the end. And then I also discovered that the battery really did take a hit. Like I said, when I'm doing basic stuff, it can last me for 3 to 4 hours or thereabout. But once I was editing, it didn't even last up to 2 hours. And that's part of the reasons why I couldn't really make the video while I was still in London. And then also, it's obvious that even Apple is doing everything they can to make sure you don't have a good experience using this MacBook. Because I remember trying to download ChatGPT, and it basically could not download on it. And some time ago in the studio, when I was trying to use this MacBook with my Elgato prompter, I wasn't able to use it because the prompter was requesting for the M1 and above. So there were lots of softwares I tried to download on it that just will not download because it's Intel. So you want to also keep that in mind. So in a nutshell, this MacBook, it's no longer efficient when it comes to doing anything creative, like video editing. I don't know if it's going to work for softwares like CapCut or the rest, but I'm just saying, in terms of what I experienced using Premiere Pro, yeah, it didn't work. So that has been my experience using it. Not so great, but it's been a fun experiment, by the way. So let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Do you still have it? Do you use it? Do you intend to buy it? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And don't forget to also like this video, because this is basically what I want to be doing now. Just creating videos of my experience using these gadgets. I'm not just reading specs and telling you what everybody else is saying. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel. I will catch you in the next one. Time to go catch my bus, go back home and rest. It's been a fun-filled, stressful, but super fulfilling 4 days. Cheers, guys. Catch you.